Oh, no. They're okay. It's just that मेरे को आई आपके लैपटॉप पे चालू करके देखो कुछ बैकग्राउंड छोड़ो चलो नमो अरिहंताणं नमो सेताणं नमो आयर्याणं नमो उवचायाणं नमो लोए सवसाहूणम्. Jai Jinendra Sabiko. Today is September 7th and 15th day of our 18-day Paryushan. And today we are on Bodhi durlabh bhavna, which is the 11th bhavna out of the 12 bhavnas. So we will be completing all the bhavnas tomorrow. Today we are going to have a junior presenter. Excuse me, I'm in travel. So, I have Aarav, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Jai Jinendra.
Wonderful, beta. Jai Jinendra. Just give me a second. I'll be introducing you and then hopefully you'll be ready with your presentation. Am I right?
Yes, thank you.
All right, beta. Just 1 second. So we have with us Aarav Shah. He's 12 years old. He goes to Lawler Middle School. He's in the 7th grade. He belongs to Jain Center of North Texas, Dallas. And he likes to do seva, listen to satsangs, perform Jain rituals, and do bhakti. Very good, Aarav. You have so much interest in Jainism.
Thank you.
His mentor at home are mom and dad. His hobbies and interests are violin, basketball, teaching taekwondo. Oh, wow. You already teach taekwondo. That's amazing.
Thank
And
you.
his long-term plans are to attain Samyak Darshan and move to great spiritual heights. Wow. Very, very commendable, Aarav. So with that, we'll let you get started.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhanti, for the kind introduction. We'll just start I'll just share the screen. Okay, so Jai Jinendra, my name is Aarav Shah, and I'm from Dallas, Texas. And today I'll be talking about the Bodhi durlabh bhavna. So, bhav is the most powerful and most expressive way that you can say anything, or should I say, think anything. One can acquire the most amount of karma through their bhav. That is why we must be careful about what we are thinking, always. There are ways that you can shed these karma. One of those ways is to reflect or meditate on the 12 bhavnas. These thoughts are so pure that with them you can stop the inflow of karma and eradicate all karma that's already inside of you. Let's jump in to one of the 12 bhavnas that is the Bodhi durlabh to see what it is. Before we jump into the Bodhi durlabh, let's go over the 12 bhanas and 4 auxiliary bhanas. So, the 12 bhanas, Anitya, Asharan, Sansar, Ekatva, Anyatva, Asuchi, Asrav, Samvar, Nirjara, Loka Swabhav, Bodhi durlabh, and Dharma. 4 auxiliary bhanas, Maitri, Pramod, Karuna, and Madhyastha. By cultivating the 4 auxiliary bhanas, then the 12 bhanas blossom, and we experience the fragrance of our pure soul and spread that fragrance around, just like a bud blossoming into a fragrant rose flower. So today we're going to be talking about the Bodhi durlabh. Bodhi durlabh is the rarity of enlightenment. One must contemplate on how difficult it is for those souls that are wandering aimlessly in the 4 stages of existence in the sansar to attain Jin Dharma. There should not even be the slightest negligence in observing the religion propagated by the Jin. So let us try to understand the following. What is enlightenment? What are the 4 stages of existence and wandering? And what is Jin Dharma? So we'll start off with what is enlightenment. Enlightenment is understanding the true self and knowing who we really are. The true self, as we all know, is a pure self, is a pure soul. Enlightenment is when we realize this true self and attain liberation, or moksha, the state of never-ending bliss. What we are doing is aimlessly wandering in the 4 stages of existence. We need to get free of this cycle of birth and death from these 4 stages of existence and attain enlightenment. Am I a wanderer or a traveler? As stated earlier, we are currently aimlessly wandering in the 4 stages of existence. These stages are more commonly known as the 4 gatis. They are Dev, Manushya, Diryansh, or Nara. A wanderer has no purpose, no destination, while a traveler has a set path and destination. The choice is ours for what we want to be. Jin Dharma lays down the path to liberation. Manushya Gati is actually the only Gati where you can attain enlightenment. What is Jin Dharma? Jin Dharma is the path that the Jineshwar Bhagwan has laid out for us to follow. Jin Dharma is the true path to moksha, which is enlightenment, meaning the state of ultimate bliss. Jineshwar Bhagwan has highlighted the 7 tattvas or 9 padarthas: Jeev, Ajeev, Punya, Pap, Asrav, Bandh, Samvar, Nirjara, and Moksha. Contemplating on these tattvas motivates us into the practice of Samvar and Nirjara, which in turn leads to Moksha. With the help of Dev, Guru, and Dharma, one from the Manushya Gati can cross the Bhausagar to the state of moksha, or true enlightenment. After understanding the rarity of enlightenment, let us all resolve to arise, awaken, and experience our true self, be in never-ending and unchanging bliss. I would like to thank the following mentors in my life for providing me with a platform and knowledge to understand and lead the Jain way of living. My Guru, Sri Rakesh Bhai Javeri, my Pachala teachers and Arhatach teachers, my mom and dad, and the Jaina Pachala book 302. Jai Jinendra, thank you for listening. Michami Dukram for any misinterpretation, misinformation on the topic which may be against Kevali Bhagwan's path and preaching. Thank you for listening.
Very good job, Aarav. And We really appreciate how well you kids are able to research and take an interest in learning more about the topic. So today, Aarav already talked about Bodhi, durlabh, bhavna. Priya ji is going to talk more about it. The only one quick comment I want to make is Bodhi durlabh is durlabh yet sulabh. Okay, it is durlabh because not everybody has that awakening, not everybody has that understanding of how important it is. But sulabh, because once you get the importance of it, it is you, it is within you. So Bodhi is within you, so it is easy to find. Now, like I said, we are also doing the Dharm ke 10 Lakshan. So today we are on Uttam Tyag. So I'll give you just a couple minutes of synopsis. So who does Tyag? Tyag is you can give up food, you can give up the sansar, take muni diksha, you can give up a lot of things. Now there is difference. Normally when we talk about giving up things, people think about donations, dan. I gave medicine charity, I gave money charity, I gave clothes. People think that I gave up my clothes or I gave up so much money to donate. But that is really, there is a big difference between the two. And let me explain what it is. For Tyag, you don't need to possess anything. But to give, you have to possess something. If you want to donate, you must have money in order to donate. Or you must have the clothing or whatever articles it is that you need to donate. Whereas for Tyag, even somebody who has nothing can give up sansar and go take muni diksha. Or I can give up food and do upvas today. If I have food, it's okay. If I did not have, it's okay. So I don't need to have food in order to give up food. So we need to understand that big difference between tyag and dan. And so that bhavana of tyag is shubha, and contemplating on the dharma of the Atma, the Tyag Dharma of the Atma, is Shuddha Bhav, thinking about the Nishchay Bhav. So that's briefly, this is all I'm going to tell you about Uttam Tyag today. And let us all contemplate on the Tyag Bhavna as that it comes in our life, slowly progressing more and more. And we understand the importance of our soul and be able to contemplate on the Uttam Tyag Dharma. Now we will come back to our topic, Bodhi Durlabh Bhavna, and I'll briefly introduce Priyadarshana ji. Dr. Priyadarshana Jain is from Rajasthan, living in Chennai. She has an MA, MPhil, and PhD in Jainism. In Jain Studies, Diploma in Prakrit, and Master Diploma in Naturopathy and Yogic Sciences. She is professor and head of the Department of Genealogy, University of Madras, Chennai. She is a resource person for International School for Jain Studies, where she has been teaching foreign scholars for past 15 years. She was a part of an interfaith religious delegation sponsored by the US Department of State, wherein she represented Jainism at different cities in the USA. She has written, edited, translated, and a lot of books, articles, etc. She's also a teacher now at the Permagam Honors course, where she's teaching 3 batches internationally. She has 55 full-time students doing their masters in Jain studies and 7 PhDs. So like I said, I applaud Priyaji for doing so much in the field of Jainism. Of course, it's her profession also, but she does a lot of service to the society at large. She's very fluent in multiple languages, including Hindi, English, Marwari, Tamil, Sanskrit, Prakrit. And obviously, that is a big benefit that she's able to speak in all those languages and teach people. Over to you, Priyaji. Welcome.
Jai Jinendra, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm just fixing things. I'll start. हे पानी पात्री वीर जिन जग को बताया आपने जग जाल में अब तक फसाया पुण्य एवं पाप ने पुण्य एवं पाप से है पार मग सुख शांति का यह धर्म का है मरम यह विस्फोट आत्म क्रांति का क्या करे गुण गान प्रभु हम आपके उपकार का आपने निज निधि हमें दी नमन करते आपका आप में प्रभु आप से ही आप सी श्रद्धा जगे दूर होवे भाव विकृत परिणति निज मेरा में. Jai Jinendra to one and all. And this was a very beautiful prayer. It's a Manglacharan related to the 24 Tirthankars, in which this was the Manglacharan for invocation of Veer Jina, who is a Pani Patri. Pani means hands, not Pani, Pani. And Patri, Patri means this is the Patra. Okay, so who is so detached and desireless and without any possessions. That Veer Bhagwan, I'm translating this only for you. He has told us that the path of liberation is beyond Punya and Pap. Beyond Punya and Pap, beyond Shubh and Ashubh Bhav, beyond auspicious and inauspicious contemplation, thoughts, words, and deeds is the pathway of liberation. And he's told us about everything. He's told us about the Shadravya, the 7 or 9 tattvas. He's given us the karma theory, the gunasthan, the lokaswarup, everything only so that the jeev can realize its own self and directly in its gyan see the whole universe for himself or for itself. So punya evam paap se pare hai moksha ka marg. And this is a dynamite, a visfot. Visfot means a revolution that happens in the soul. And when that dynamite, when the dynamite blasts and when that revolution happens, what happens is all the mountains, the heaps of karmas will be destroyed. So now the second part of it comes from a different piece of literature, and it says, oh God, how do I praise you? क्या करे गुणगान प्रभु हम आपके उपकार का. I can never ever thank you. So that gratitude, that oh Prabhu, what you have given me. Then he says, आपने निज निधि हमें दी. You have given me my inner treasure. You have shown me my inner world. And so, naman karte aapka. Aapka means I bow down to my own self. You have not told me to bow down to you. You have given me my inner treasure, and now I adore it. I absorb in it. I seek it. I'm curious about it. Okay. So, naman karte aapka. Aapne nij nidhi hame di. You have given me my nidhi. Now what I seek. Aap mein Prabhu aap se. Aap means here the self. Aap se means by the self. I want to know myself by myself the way you have known yourself. Huh? आप में प्रभु आप से ही आप सी श्रद्धा जगे. How you got faith in your own self, how you got the knowledge of your own self, how you absorbed in your own self. I would like to know myself, have faith in myself and absorb in myself the way you did it. Okay, nothing else I want. So today, friends, is the Bodhi Durlabh Bhavna Day. So Bodhi means self-realization, right understanding. In one word, we can say it is Ratnatre. Bodhi may refer only to Samyak Darshan, but we have to include all the three in this. It is inclusive of Samyak Darshan, Gyan, Charitra. So that is the meaning of Bodhi. And Bodhi, you can simply say self-realization. So you mean to say we don't realize ourselves, we don't know who we are? Then Jainism tells us that reality is complex. You are real, you are existing. I told you yesterday, you are Sat, you are Chit, you are Anand, you are being, your consciousness, your bliss, you are life, you are light, you are love. Okay, and that complex reality, how will you understand without deep meditation? That is why you see over the world, there are so many meditation camps. And the people are so stressed, okay, in the hustle and bustle of life, in the humdrum of life, they get lost and they don't want to get lost. So you see here Mahavir and Buddha, they themselves at the peak age, they ran away. Ran away means they left. They could not take the stress of the karma uday, and they could not take the stress of whatever it is. They wanted peace. And so they went to the forests. Now, why did they go to the forests? Why did they not go anywhere else to seek the enlightenment? They had got the Bodhi Samyak Darshan, part of that in their past lives. When they got the Kshaik Samyaktva, they were born with it. They were born with the right understanding and that insight and everything. They were born with it. But they had to accomplish it. They had to perfect it. So they had to absorb in it. And for absorption, they chose a forest life. Not forest life, they went to the forest in seclusion. So now the question is, why did they go to the forests? So I'm asking you this question, and you will give me the answer at the end of the lecture, and you will ask me, then I will give the answer. Otherwise, I'm going to leave it to you to find out why did the Tirthankars to be, why did the Tirthankars to be, or Buddha or anybody else goes to the forest in those days. These days, we don't go to the forests. Why? Because there are no forests. Man has eaten away all the forests. He's eaten away all the wild animals, all the domestic animals, and he's eating and eating and eating and eating. But he's not eating from his own self. He's not eating means he's not enjoying being in his own self. That is why the world is in a mess today. The inner pollution, the inner short-sightedness is the cause for the material, mess that the world is in today. In spite of all the scientific and technological development at our doorstep, everything ready at the trigger of a button. Okay, our machines at home and the missiles in the countries, and everything is at the ready trigger button. So man has got access to tremendous information, but without the self-realization, with this information, he is only going to be destructive. So who is going to tell him what is right and what is wrong? He thinks that I will kill people, I will be violent towards them, and then I will get peace. So if you're sowing the seeds of violence and you're sowing the seeds of unrest, how can you reap peace and rest? So man needs to be educated today. You can guide the missile and tell it where to fall. The problem not today is not the guided missiles, but it is the misguided men. So here we see through the 12 bhavanas, it is educating the lower self so that it transcends the lower self and reaches the higher self. So human birth is very, very rare and very, very difficult. I would like to quote beautifully. It is told in the Bodhi durlabh bhavna of Hukamchandji Bharil on page number, you have 152. It says, I would like to tell in Hindi and then do the translation for you, of course. Naradeha uttama desh puran ayu shubh आजीविका दुर्वासना की मंदता परिवार की अनुकूलता सत्सज्जनों की संगति सद्धर्म की आराधना है उत्तरोत्तर महादुर्लभ आत्मा की साधना. He says that these things are very, 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 very difficult. Uttarotar means the succeeding one is more difficult to get than the preceding one. So the first one he says is Naradeha, human birth. And now in Uttaradhyan Sutra, we have this beautiful lesson called Chaturangiya, 4 angas, where he says, Chattari paramangani dullahani jantuno manusattam sui saddha sanjamammiya viryam. That means he says 4 things are very, 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 how many very, very I can say, I don't know. You understand. I will say 4, you understand 40. Very difficult to acquire. What are those? According to Uttaradhyan Sutra, the first one is Manusattam. Manusattam means Manushyatva. Human birth. There are 7 billion humans, but all behaving worse than animals. They don't know for what they are over here. And they're blinded by religion. They're not applying the logic. They're not applying the common sense and causing violence and causing untruth and all kinds of vyabhichar and mayachar and kushil and parigra and everything, you know. And today we are using the tool of education to we are not doing, but man is doing it. He's promoting all the wrong things in the using the tool of education. He's educating himself, but for what? To be a terrorist, but to be a drug peddler, to be a corrupt politician, to be a corrupt trustee, to be a corrupt businessman. So he's getting educated, but then, so here Uttaradhyan Sutra says he has no manusattam. Humanity is not there. If the basic humanity is not there, you can note down, friends, nobody can realize the inherent divinity using the tool of spirituality. So for me, there are only 3 religions: humanity, spirituality, divinity, which can connect all the humans and all the living beings. And all religion, the word religion comes from the root verb relega, which means to connect. It should help us to connect to our inner self, to connect with our fellow brethren, to connect with the Godhood, and to connect with God. All the 4 connects should happen in one shot. For that only we need this human birth. But we don't understand this, and we waste this human birth in material pursuits and mundane pursuits. And then at the end of the day, we do not have anything in our hand. All our life, we spend our health to gain wealth. And in old age, we will be spending our wealth to regain the lost health. So first of all, why did you lose your health? Why did you run after things that were irrelevant and unimportant? This is the day when we should be introspecting that what we are doing and what we are supposed to do. What you are doing is worthwhile or worthless. This is the day, Bodhi durlabh bhavana. And not just this day, every day, every breath. So how can we remember? How can we apply this Bodhi durlabh bhavna in our day-to-day life? In every birth, by connecting with our own inner core. You call that inner core as Ram, you call it as Krishna, you call it as Shuddhatma, you call it as pure soul. But understand, you are that inherent divinity. It is immanent, but you have to transcend all the senses and the mind to realize it. That is a complex. It is there, it is inherent, it is there throughout. But if you don't have the inner vision, if you don't have the right faith, you don't have the right knowledge, you cannot realize it, you cannot experience it, you cannot enjoy it, you cannot get liberated. You cannot get liberated. Simply, you cannot realize ultimate happiness and peace, which is eternal, which is so simple to get, yet we have made it so difficult because since time immemorial, in the transmigratory cycle, we have never attempted it. But once you attempt it and pursue it relentlessly, it is the most easiest of the things. So we have to understand, Jinwani, that the things that which are easy are hard, and things which are difficult, hard, are also easy. For example, a person, a little child, 10-year-old child, I give him big fat books of MBBS and tell him to study and get the degree. It's very difficult for him because he's a small boy. He's a small child of 10 years of age. He doesn't understand. But the same child, when he's 20-year-old, he pursues it and he makes the difficult thing very, very easy. So if you are spiritually bankrupt, you are like a child. And if you are awakened, even though you're a child, you are a wise man. So that is how we have to understand. It is durlabh yet sulabh. It is sulabh yet durlabh, as Prabhaji had rightly told in our opening remarks. So what is the first difficult thing is humanity, human birth with humanitarian qualities. That is the meaning of Naradeha. So Naradeha means not just the human body, but with a alert mind, a compassionate heart, and a self-seeking spiritual quotient. All these things make us a humane, make us truly humane. So the first one is Manusattam. Second, he says is Sui. Sui means listening to the truth, listening to the scriptures, listening to the Jinavani, listening to the reality, listening about what is life and what is living. That is Sui. And third is Shraddha. Bhagwan says that you are a divine soul. And no, we say, I'm not, I'm a papi, I'm with karmas, I'm with kashai, I'm with rag, I'm with dvesh, I'm with so much of stress. Are Bhagwan says, don't worry, dear, you are a divine child still. But we don't want to accept that. And then we keep on brooding. So we are greater jnanis than Bhagwan. That is our ignorance. That is our arrogance. That is our anantanubandhi kashai. That is our mithyatva. Okay, so Bhagwan says, you are a divine soul. Once, at least once, you realize it, not intellectually. Just because, oh, Priya ma'am is telling, just because everybody is telling I'm a pure soul, okay, I will also say I'm a pure soul, pure soul, pure. You know, in a village, there is a drunkard, a madman, and he keeps telling, sansar asar hai, jeena yahan bekar hai. He says the world is worthless and it is futile to live over here. Nobody is mine, nobody belongs to me, nobody cares for me, nothing is worthwhile in this world. Jeena yahan bekar, it is fruitless to live over here. So this, even a madman understands. But does that madman understand what is worthwhile? Does he understand what is worthwhile? So what is the use of our telling that sansar is anitya, sansar is asharan, sansar is asar, the first three bhavanas? If you know that I am nitya, my atma can give me sharan. I am this essence. I means the pure soul, which is breathing in all of us. Breathing means which is alive and kicking in all of us. And it is eternal. It is on an eternal journey. To realize that is Shraddha, and that is very, very, very difficult. And the fourth one he says is Sanjamammiya Viryam. Virya means exertion, effort, pursuing relentlessly the goal of, not goal, the path of self-restraint. Indriya Sayam, Prani Sayam. Sayam is self-restraint towards our own self through indriyas, through transcending the indriyas. And when you transcend the indriya, you enter into the spiritual world and you don't come out of the spiritual world. That is when prani sayam, you're not meddling, you're not interfering with the lives of the earth, water, fire, air, plant-bodied beings, and you give abhaydan to them. You understood? So these four difficult things from the Uttaradhin Sutra. Now, Bharil Sahib tells the same four things in a different way. He says, Naradeha, human birth, very, very difficult. We have done tremendous punya. We have done tremendous practice of ahimsa to get this human birth, which is not infected with virus, with corona, with poverty, with all the deprivations that the world suffers, you know. So we have got access to all the basic things that we need for life and living, the material life and living. You have done punya, you have done dharma, you have done dhyan in your past life to get this. And now with this punya, you are going after pap. You're going after a sinful life. You had a virtuous life in the past, because of which you have a comfortable life in the present. And with the punya uday, you are going behind pap. You're spending your punya. The more you have access to your mobile and YouTube and internet and all these things, you are every moment spending your punya and earning pap. But the same punya you apply in reading Jinwani. You apply in doing Paramatma Seva. You do it in Guru Puja, Guru Deva Puja, Guru Pasti. Your punya increases. It becomes punyanu-bandhi punya. And friends, punya keeps on increasing and then it vanishes. Pap keeps on decreasing and then it vanishes. You understand, Hemal? Punya keeps on increasing. See, coming to the pure soul is Shuddha Bhav, where there is no influx of good karma or evil karma. That is somewhere and nirjana. But every moment we cannot be in the pure soul. Okay, every moment a Muni also cannot be in the pure soul. So what will the Muni be doing? He'll be engaging in Swadhyay, Sayyam, Tap, Daya, Dan, Daya, etc. That time he'll be getting the Shubha Bhav and he will be getting the Shubha Karma. But he considers them as discardable. Heya. He doesn't consider them as Upadeya, acquirable. What is acquirable is the Bodhi, is the Ratnatre. Everything else is discardable. So you don't have to discard all the Shubha Bhav at this stage, but your Buddhi, your understanding of it has to be corrected. You will not, like for example, me and Prabhaji, don't we understand that talking to all of you is asra? Yet we take to it because we are also seeking to be absorbed in the self, but we are not able to. So we engage in all those activities that will only talk about that. That will talk only about that. All our mundane activities should be only to come closer to ourselves. And all that is worthless should be immediately cut off. There is no need for the jiva to engage in social parties and continue with a rag of rag. So the basic rag that you have for your family children, that is the commitment as a social animal that you have. But what is the need for you to have immense rag and waste all your time in partying, and that is why today you have all this drug trafficking, women trafficking, child trafficking, because people are learning things, and they are not learning it the right way, so they are not having the faith in the higher things. It is said, friends, that 2500 years ago, every third person knew what the soul is. They knew Bodhi. But how many of them got it? For example, if you take Bhagwan Mahavir had 14,000 sadhus. And how many got Keval Gyan? Not even 700 of them. Out of the 14,000 monks, only say 700, handful of them got Keval Gyan. All the others could not get it. So now that reminds me, I'll come back to Bharal Sahib here. Bodhi means Ratnatre. And what is Samadhi? Taking that Ratnatre to the next life. Taking that Ratnatre with you at the time of death to your next life. That is Samadhi. Samadhi. Samadhi means the inner peace. And you take that inner peace with you, and then in 1-2 lives you can perfect it and reach liberation. It's so simple. It's so simple. But we have made it so complicated. Why is it difficult? Why is it difficult? Because in the cycle of transmigration, we have never attempted it. Had we attempted it in our last life, we would have been in Mahavidya Kshetra today. We would not have been here today. In the past life, we did not attempt it, even though we gathered all the punya and we came here, and we have access to all those things by which we can realize it. Understood? Now you take this Logasa Sutra. It very beautifully says, Arugga Bohila, after giving the names of the 24 Tirthankas. Usabham Ajiyam cha Vande Vaddhamanam cha Evam May Abhitva. Describing the qualities of Paramatma, we ask from Bhagwan, Arugga Bohi Labham, Samahi Varamuttamam Dintu, Chandesu Nimmalayra, Aichesu Ahyam Payasayara, Sagar Vara Gambhira, Siddha Siddhim Mamadisan. That means what? I want Arogya. Arogya here does not refer only to physical Arogya. It refers to holistic Arogya. Arogya of the body, Arogya of the mind, Arogya of the soul. Okay, and Bodhi is right understanding, related to understanding the body, related to understanding the food that I should take, related to understanding the path of moksha, related to understanding, realizing liberation. That is Bodhi. So Arugga Bohi Labham, I want this labha, by which I will get Samahi, Samadhi. Varam means that wish, the boon. Uttamam Dintu, give me the Uttam Arogya, give me the Uttama Bodhi, give me the Uttama Samadhi. And that is some Ratnatre. The greatest rogue means disease, is of ignorance. So what is the Arogya? It is right knowledge. And Bodhi is Samyak Darshan. And Samadhi comes through Samyak Charitra. So we are asking the Ratnatre through Arugga Bohi Labham Samahi Varam Uttamam Dintu. And when you get this, you will realize Chandesu Nimmalayra, the coolness of thousands of moons put together. Chandesu, Bahuvachan, it is plural. Aichesu Ahyam Payasayara. Aichesu means sun. More brightness than thousands of suns put together, you will experience. And Sagar Vara Gambhira, the profoundness that is there in the ocean, you will experience the profoundness of the deep, pure soul that you are. Once you experience these three, it is Siddha Siddhim Mama Disantu. Ananta Siddha Bhagwan. Siddha. Siddhim, the path of moksha. Mama, for me. Disantu, show. May Ananta Siddha Bhagwan show me the path of liberation. Rather, they are already sitting and showing. We are not able to see. So you are telling yourself, let me see it, let me see it, let me see it. And the same thing Swami Vivekananda said, awake, arise, and stop not till the goal is reached. उठो, जागो और तब तक ना रुको जब तक कि मंजिल की प्राप्ति ना हो जाए. Arise, awake. Arey Baba, every day we wake up, every day we arise, है ना? And every day we walk. Every day we are running in this mad race, which is ultimately a rat race, and it has reduced us to a rat. You know what a rat does? It will go after things, it will collect them, and it will, what to say, like how the squirrels and all these creatures, no, they keep collecting and they keep, what to say, storing, and they forget where they are doing, where they have kept it. And then there you have all kinds of trees growing over there. So that even that little squirrel has a role to play in the environment, in pollination and all those kind of things. So like that rat, we are also collecting things and we are forgetting where we have kept. You know what is the biggest collection we do? We go on WhatsApp, we see all some messages, we will take it, we will save it, and we will put it in a place. And we never visit them again. We never live it. So we are all incomplete today. Provided that little things we are careful, we are sincere, then we can come up in life. So Bharil Sahib says, Nara Deha is difficult, human birth, then Uttam Desh, being born in a cultured land where you can pursue your spiritual goal is very difficult. Then getting a Purna Ayu means a good lifespan. Then Ajivika, your livelihood, the means of livelihood are non-violent, are not corrupt, not illegal. Then Durvasana ki mandata, you are not too greedy for the material pleasures. That is called Durvasana ki. And Parivar ki anukulta, your family supports your spiritual aspirations. They don't seek your time and attention for material goals. They allow you to tread on the spiritual path. Then he says, Sat Sajjano ki Sangati, being in the company of the wise people. So we should thank Prabhaji for putting us together. And it is your punya that you all have got Prabhaji and Jaina and this platform. So Sat Sangati. Satsang, we are all doing this satsang. Now, what is the meaning of the word satsang? Now, we all are together is not satsang. With this togetherness, you get associated with the sat that you are. Getting associated with sang, sat sang. You get connected to your inner core. That is the real satsang. And from the Vyavahar point of view, we call this Zoom meeting also as satsang. Okay. And then when you come in the contact of Sajjan, you come in contact with your pure soul, then you start the Sadharma ki Aradhana. The real dharma, you pursue it. That is the path of Ratnatre. And these 10 things are more difficult than the previous ones. So this is how we have to understand. And in the Uvasagaram Stotra, you all know the Uvasagaram Stotra. Very beautiful it is. Uvasagaharam pasam, pasam bandami, kama ghanamukkam. Very, very popular in the Shvetamba tradition. And there one line comes, Ta deva dijja bohim bhave bhave pasa jinachandra. Oh Jinachandra, I don't want anything. I want bohim. Ta means till then, tab tak. Dijja bohim, give me the bodhi. Give me the right understanding. Bhave bhave. In any birth I go, please give me the right understanding. I don't seek anything else. Oh Paramatma, how you got the right understanding of yourself, I too want the right understanding of my pure self. I don't seek anything. Because anything that I seek is momentary, it is ephemeral, it is material, it is dependent, it makes me dependent, etc., etc. But when I seek my eternal pure self, I will knock at the door of eternal happiness, eternal life and eternal living, fearlessness, desirelessness, peace and real happiness. So I don't want anything else. Now, what is the fruit of this bhavana? When we take to this Bodhi durlabh bhavana, what is the fruit of this bhavana? It should help us to focus on our inner loka. the inner world, and realize, only then the realization of the dharma will start. So focusing on the inner loka, that is the 10th bhavana. And 12th bhavana is dharma bhavana. In the middle, you have the Bodhi durlabh bhavana. So in this, so yesterday I was talking about the loka swarup bhavana. So we have to meditate on the loka. So to understand, to come to our inner loka, we have to shift our focus from the external loka to the inner loka. And if you don't succeed in that, this external loka, where all you can be born. Bharat sir, you can mute yourself, Bharat sir.
Okay.
Where all you can be born. So when you look at the external loka, you immediately visit your inner loka. Why? Understanding that it is very difficult to visit the inner loka, Bodhi durlabh. And when you visit, then what starts is dharma. So the 12th bhavana, dharma bhavana, will tell us what really dharma is and how to have the bhavana. So after having the 12 bhavanas, or even one bhavana you take to, it is inclusive of all the 12. Then only the dharma dhyan starts. When you go beyond the bhavanas. If you simply engage in bhavana, oh, I have the bhavana to eat a rasagulla today, but you're not doing anything to make a rasgulla or buy a rasgulla, how will you enjoy the rasgulla? So it is a fanciful wish. So all these 12 bhavanas, these 12 anuprekshas, will be fanciful thoughts if we do not relentlessly pursue the goal of liberation, and otherwise it will just be a wish. So bhavanas are again asrav tattva. They cause influx of karma, which is good karma, but we should know how to go beyond that influx and arrest that influx also. Only then the true dharma dhyan will start, and that dharma dhyan will lead to shukla dhyan, and that shukla dhyan will lead to enlightenment. That is keval gyan. Without bara bhavana, we cannot come to dharma dhyan, and without dharma dhyan, there cannot be shukla dhyan, and without shukla dhyan, there cannot be keval gyan, and without keval gyan, there is no eternal happiness. There is no freedom from the cycle of rebirth. So now you should understand how serious these studies are. Very, very, very serious studies. Okay, friends. So then you have this very beautiful couplets you have. You know, if you're really interested about Jain studies, you should start memorizing these couplets of Bara Bhavna, of Bhudar Das ji, of Jaychand ji, and so many people, you know. Or you simply get this book, Bara Bhavna Anushilan, by Dr. Hukam Chandji Bharal, and read it every day. You read it. See, I have been reading this book for almost now 30 years. And every day I read it, I enjoy it. I get connected to myself. I get connected to Paramatma. I don't want the external world connect. I don't seek it. I don't seek it. I seek only the inner. They say, no, the kingdom of God is within. So just remember, friends, I always give this 3 mantras to my students. If you want, you can write down. Hey Jeev, tu shant rahe. We have to do the, counseling for our own jiva every minute. Why? Because this jiva, since anadi kal, you know, water goes downwards only. So our mind goes in vasana. It goes in pleasures. It goes in futile things. So you have to tame the mind. You have to redirect it. You have to change the direction of your mind. Transform the mind. And then the soul will be, you can realize it. So what I was telling, hey Jeev, tu shant rahe. Why? Tu Bhagwan hai. और तू एक महान अंतर यात्रा पर है. हे जीव, ओ जीव, be at peace. You are supremely divine, and you are on a great inner journey. तू एक महान अंतर यात्रा पर है. So this couplet of Bhudar Das ji says, धन जन कंचन राज सुख सुलभ सभी सुख जान दुर्लभ है संसार में ek yatharth gyan. He says it is very easy to get wealth, to get the wealth of family, kith and kin and Facebook likes, etc., etc., etc. सब कुछ सुलभ है, दुर्लभ है संसार में एक यथार्थ ज्ञान. Yatharth means right. Gyan means knowledge. So what is the most difficult thing to get? And that is right knowledge. Okay, friends. So material things are easy to get and or difficult to get. Material things are very easy to get. And who says this? None other than Acharya Kunda Kunda. He says, Kama Bhoga Bandh Katha. Sulabh, it is very, very easy. Because since Anadi Kal, we have attempted that. So that is easy. We have not attempted this world of spirituality. So it appears difficult. But once you become serious, it is Sahaj, it is Sulabh, it is ever present. So that realization is here and now, but we are not in here and now. Our mind is either in the past or in the future. If you can learn to be in the present moment, you can get that bodhi. To be in the present moment, I will strongly recommend that you read this book, The Power of Now, by Eckhart Tolle. That is the word of Samaik. How to come to the present moment. See, friends, I would like to use the board and tell you something. Please listen carefully. You can look at the board. This is our life. Okay, and we keep traveling. We were a millionaire here. Now we are a multi-millionaire. Tomorrow we could be Tata Birla Ambani. Tomorrow we could be the president, prime minister, whatever it is. So we keep traveling. Now, this is not the real journey that Bhagwan wants us to take. He says, wherever you are, you dive deep into yourself. You dive deep into yourself, and then you will reach the highest abode of liberation, the Siddhashila. Anybody can dive deep into the self and reach the highest abode of liberation. That is the real journey that we all need to take. And that is very, very difficult, because once you start attempting, you have to accomplish it. That is why they say your goal is very far. The journey is the path. The journey is very, very arduous and long one. Time is very limited, full of obstacles, and your Shakti is limited. So, Samayam Goyam Ma Pamaye. O Gautam, be not invigilant even for a moment. Okay, friends. So I can go on and on about this Samadhi, Bodhi, Durlabh, Bhavna, but then we have our limitations. So I wish you all that we all work towards self-realization, we work towards self-purification and towards self-conquer. So self-realization, I call it as Atma Darshan, Atma Sakshatkar, and then is Atma Vishuddhi. Atma Darshan is fourth Gunasthan. And Atma Vishuddhi is absorption in the soul, and that will make you to go from the 4th to the 12th Gunasthan, the Atma Vishuddhi. And the 13th is the Atma Jaya. So your Bodhi Durlabh Bhavna should help you to get the Bodhi, to get the self purification and the self conquer. Nothing short of that. That's all for friends. That's all, friends, for today. I'll see you again on the last day. Thank you, Prabhaji. Thank you, Jaina. Thank you all for your patient listening. Jai Jinendra.
Thank you so much, Priyaji, for another wonderful lecture. Excuse me, I know I'm in travel today, so between my laptop not functioning at some point and
Prabhaji, you want me to ask the questions? I can help you.
you know what? I
You
should have done that, but now that I didn't want to put you on the spot at the last minute, so I'll just do it. Okay, let's start with the question. Explain the term Bodhi.
Self-realization.
Very good. Hemal, did you have a different answer?
I was just going to say three Ratnatraya.
Darshan.
Do you have something to say, Priyaji? Are they all correct?
Correct.
Okay. Next question. Why is it difficult? I think I kind of said that in the beginning when I introduced the Bodhi durlabh.
Because we have spent so many lifetimes living in the sansar. So it is an easy thing for us to do. But for us to deep dive into our own inner self is hard because we don't even know about it. And we haven't, I mean, we may have spent time learning about it, but we never reached the end point. And so we are still struggling with the sansar part. So we have, that's why it is difficult. It is
Had never
easy,
done it
but it is
before.
difficult.
Right, exactly. In which part Arugga Bohilabham Samahi Varamuttadintu appears? Uttamam Arugga Bohilabham Samahi Var Uttamam Dintu. Which part is that?
Logasa Sutra.
Logasa Stuti.
Very good. Yes. Ta Deva Dijabohi. What is the reference for this line?
Vasa Garam.
Okay, very good. What is the meaning of the line Bodhi aapka bhav hai, nischay durlabh nahi?
Bodhi is our Atma is Gnan. So by Nishcha, it is not difficult to have Bodhi. But we are not in our Atma, so that's the difficult part. And we are in Sansar, time immemorial. So
Okay, very good. Now, next question. Focus on inner, wait a minute. Ratnatraya is related to our pure intrinsic nature. Hence, not difficult at all is the answer to the previous question. Next one is, what is the fruit of this bhavna? So if you keep contemplating on it, what would you expect out of yourself?
to
Yes, Shripal, did you want to answer that?
I think we'll achieve self-realization, inner peace.
Mm-hmm. So
basically you
your
reach dharma.
Purusharth will be in the right direction towards self-realization, right?
You reach Dharma Dhyan and then Shukla Dhyan and then you are there. I mean, internally there.
Correct, Prabhaji.
Right. These are all correct answers. Material things are easy or difficult to access?
Easy.
Easy.
Was it easy for everybody to get a job, go to college? All that very easy?
I think it is easy based on your punya karma.
Right. Okay. What is the most difficult thing to be accomplished?
I gave you one quote, no? Dhan Jan Kanchan Raj Sukh. With reference to that, you have to say. दुर्लभ है संसार में एक डैश ज्ञान.
Obviously, I'm not going to be any good with what you just said, but I understood that the most difficult was to pursue self-realization and self-restraint relentlessly.
Yes. Yes. Yatharth Gyan, right knowledge is very difficult to get about the reality.
Okay. What is the difference between Bodhi and Samadhi?
Samadhi is what you carry with you into your next life, the bhav you carry with you, or the knowledge you carry with you to the next life. And what was, and Bodhi is your Triratna in this life, your knowledge of this life.
And also, if I add
That is as
Samadhi,
my understanding.
if I add Samadhi is the inner peace we carry forward to the next life. Bodhi is Samyak Darshan or self.
So
We can give it
realization
Prabhuji.
of the Samyak Gyan Darshan Charitra, and then staying in it, staying in that bhav continuously is Samadhi.
Oh.
Consistent
The
observation of
nirnay,
the thing.
you may be able to take it to the next life. But
Only
even
then you
Samyak Darshan may or may not go with you, depends.
How is that spelled, please?
You mean the nirnay?
Samadhi?
Samadhi,
Samadhi.
Samadhi.
Thank you.
How can one apply this contemplation in one's day-to-day life?
Stop wasting time on unnecessary activities and focus on your inner self.
How
At least
often?
every moment.
Mhm. Mhm. Just like every moment we know our name, we don't forget that. It's the same way. Every moment, remember that you're the soul. So very good. So this was all the questions Priyaji had prepared for us. And now if you guys have any clarifications, we can do that. Otherwise, we
have
can
the
end the
name?
session.
Could I have the name of the book that you recommended again, please? That you
It
said
is
you've been reading
it is
over and
Bara
over?
Anushilan by Dr. Hukam Chandji Bharal. This is the book.
Baraha.
You can get a copy of it from
I'm not
Prabhaji.
sure if that one is in English, Priyaji.
Somebody has to give her the translation.
Yeah, I
You should
don't
read
think
this book
there is a
line by
translation
line.
of this.
Yes, you should read this book line by line or learn Hindi. Learn Hindi.
No
Come
one
to
has
India.
translated yet. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Very
would
good.
say look in
I got that. Thank you.
jainworld.com. There's a possibility that you might get.
Okay.
I have written a beautiful article on Bara Bhavna and stories related to the 12-fold contemplations. And this is the food for every seeker.
Mhm. Okay.
This
So
is
where have
this
you written
12
it, Dr. Jain? And how can we access it?
You just send me a hello on WhatsApp. I'll try to send it to you.
Do you want to share it with me and I'll pass it on to Claudia or whoever,
I
because
can
I don't
do
know if
that.
everybody uses WhatsApp.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Give me some time. I'll try to fix it.
Thank you. That'll be lovely.
If there
Thank
is
you.
an interest, I can send people a link to join a group where, you know, whenever we have these lectures, you get the notification and information like this.
Yes, Prabhaji, you can give me the link of the bhavanas that I did for the Sunday batch students in English. I've given 4 lectures, all are related to this book only. You can
Okay.
access. Yeah, you just send me a hello. You can note down my number if you want, or take from Prabhaji, and I will send you the links.
Yeah.
98403. I'll put it on the chat box. Yes, Prabhaji.
Sure. Put it there. And Claudia, would you need my email or anything so I can forward you these links?
I would love to have that, or I can send you mine. either way.
Let me send you mine so it's easier for me to get it and I'll respond. How about that?
Prabhaji, going back to the first question, Dr. Jain was asking Mahavirji or Buddha why they went to a forest. What's the reason behind? Is it that they want to self-realize, practice detachment, and focus on their inner look? Is that the reason, or is there any specific reason
That
behind?
is what they thought,
forest?
that they do not want the sansaric distractions in order to be with them, with their own self.
Prabhaji, I would like to take this question
Sure,
or this
go ahead.
observation forward. 1 minute I will take of
No
everybody. So it is for self-realization. They could have gone deep into their house or in a cave and they could have sat there and got it. But why forest? Self-realization is the purpose. They could have gone to a mountaintop. They could have gone to a cave. They could have gone into a, kya bolte hain, bunker. But why forest? That is the question. So I'll give this answer on the last day, or I can give it today. I have no issues. Whatever Prabhaji says. I
It's
made
okay,
the
leave it
question
now,
clear.
that's
now.
fine.
I
Please
made the
share.
question clear. Anybody else would like to attempt? I'm thankful that Shankar Gowda sir remembered the question.
Well,
So Claudia, would you like to try? Anybody else would like to try?
Why go to
Why?
the forest?
Why do the spiritual seekers go to the forests? Like Mahavira and Buddha and all the Tirthankars for that matter. All the Tirthankars to be. So all this Jainism, Buddhism, Hinduism, they're all forest religions.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike the Abrahamic religions, which are born from the deserts.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So these are all forest religions. So why the forest? The question is, why do we have to go to the forest?
Can I try this one?
Yeah, please, Hemal.
I'm thinking from scientific purposes, we evolved as humans, and that time there was only forests.
No.
That's why
No.
nothing to do with our evolution and where we came
So
from.
from where we came, we go back over there. No. Okay, friends, I will.
Fresh air.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Fresh air.
please. Quickly, Bharat Bhai.
No, I said fresh air, maybe light.
Oh, fresh
energy.
oxygen. Okay, oxygen. No need to go to the ventilator then.
Right.
No, that
Cave.
is not the answer. That is not the answer.
So practice detachment.
That is also not the answer. There is a very great reason behind going to the forest. Okay, friends, I will tell you the answer.
I can only tell you why I've gone to hermitages in the forest, and it's because it's an all-inclusive environment, and I'm aware of all of the relationship of everything when I'm in the forest.
No.
Okay.
They can meditate in peace. No. See, listen, friends. Listen, very beautiful answer to this. Now, when you go to the forest, you have all kinds of life forms breeding over there. You have the microorganisms, you have the plants, you have the insects, you have the animals, you have the birds. And one animal is eating another animal. One animal is fearful of another animal. Okay. Now, when a seeker or when an ascetic goes to the forest to meditate, he will not. It will not be easy for him to go deep inside. He'll come out, and when he comes out, he sees these animals killing another animal and eating another animal and making them scary and all those kind of things. And he contemplates that if I miss the bus of spirituality, I will be reborn in these existences. I don't want to be reborn here. So again, he will dive deep into himself.
Beautiful. Yeah, we were on the same page, but not connecting. Yeah, well, that's what I meant when I said it's an all immersive environment.
Yeah.
You can see how it's all going astray.
Yeah, but that is to get the inspiration to go deeper inside and get connected again to one's own inner self. This keeps happening again and again and again until finally they settle inside and get the enlightenment. That is difficult. That is a Bodhi durlabh bhavna. That's all. Prabhaji, over to you.
Cool.
Good answer.
back to their inner state again. And they are able to do it.
Yes, not one or two, but all the Tirthankars. They have demonstrated to us. When infinite souls can do it and get liberated, why not you and me? So now you exert the Purusharth, you do. So that is the purpose of this bhavna. Focus on your inner self and exert in the right direction.
So do you think that us with not going into the forest, the effort is even more because we are so surrounded by all objects of distraction?
Exactly. We have to, our energy is wasted in doing the basic things and we are not able to go to the higher plane. Yeah. And that is why people go for 10 days Vipassana, 10 days in camps and all those kind of things.
Difficult because आपकी dose
So
अलग capture बोलिए
this idea.
Over to Prabhat.
So then this idea that the more the challenges, the better we can develop our skills or hone our skills to go inside ourselves, that would not be true then?
See, today there are challenges are plenty, but how many people are seekers? There are
This will
challenges
only
there
apply
for
when
even
you're a
the-
true seeker, Hemal. This is
First you have to get the right
what
faith,
we are
right
applying
knowledge.
here is not related. If you were a true seeker, you could get the enlightenment, looking at the lot of misery within the world also. But until you reach that stage, it doesn't apply to us. So,
Prabhaji,
okay, so we'll end the
Hemal,
session here.
one last observation with the permission of the chair. See, the more the challenges, under that pressure, if you have the right vision, you will go in the right direction. And with those challenges, if you don't have the right vision, you will end up being in stress and you will be in Artha Dhyan. So again, it comes to the right understanding.
So then the best option would be to go to the forest.
No, first you have to get the Samyak Darshan,
yes,
Samyak Dhyan sitting at home.
Yes,
Then
yes,
that
yes.
charitra and tap will
Then
follow.
all that will
and,
come.
Shefali has put a very nice message that we will be eaten up by the animals. So now you have to understand that when you have the right faith, right knowledge, you become fearless, and in meditation, your aura expands. And any animal that comes in that aura also becomes positively charged.
Wow.
So first you have to become your own friend, and then the animals and birds become your own friends and they don't eat you up over there. So look at the people who train the wild animals. They are fearless of the animals. So the animals are fearless of them. It's a two-way process. You want to make people fearless, first you become fearless. You want people to love you, first you learn to love yourself. You want people to respect you, you first learn to respect yourself. So self-help is the best help. Okay, friends. Yes, over to Prabhat.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you so
Dr.
much,
Jain.
everybody, for your questions. And we have to wrap this up because otherwise, our time goes. Okay. All right, let's do our prayers. Kameni save jiva, kamantu me, mitti me sava bhuvesu, veram majjam na kenai. Sahajanandi Shuddha Swarupi Avinashi Hu Atma Swarup. Sahajanandi Shuddha Swarupi Avinashi Hu Atma Swarup. Sahajanandi Shuddha Swarupi Avinashi Hu Atma Swarup. निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है, इसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार है, वंदना शत बार है. Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra. Thank you.
See you tomorrow.